Wait a second. This story didn't begin with lawyers, public threats, or some dramatic explosion splashed across every headline. There was no shouting match caught on camera. No viral meltdown lighting up social media. The beginning was much quieter than that, and in many ways, far more dangerous. Because it started with something disarming: hope. The kind of hope that slowly lowers your defenses. The kind that convinces you it's finally safe to breathe again. And that's exactly why what came afterward hit so hard. When Cardi B believed she had finally stepped into a healthier chapter of her life, the people closest to her didn't question it. They relaxed. After years of navigating the emotional storms that came with Offset, she suddenly looked different, not like someone bracing for chaos, but like someone finally chasing peace. Then Stefon Diggs appeared in her world. Calm, confident, effortlessly smooth, almost too reassuring to be real. He always seemed to know the exact words to say, the kind of words that feel like rescue after you've endured too many disappointments. People close to the situation later said he created a sense of safety around Cardi B, something she hadn't truly felt in a long time. It wasn't just talk about love. He spoke about stability, about moving differently, about building something stronger than what she had experienced before. He told her she deserved better than the pain she had known. And for a while, Cardi B appeared to believe every word. Before long, they stepped into the spotlight together. Their relationship became public, and from the outside, everything seemed steady. She showed up at his games, louder than anyone else in the stadium, cheering with a kind of pride that couldn't be mistaken. Sitting in the stands beside Stefon Diggs, she looked fully invested. Her loyalty wasn't subtle, it was visible to everyone watching. Then the pregnancy announcement arrived, and suddenly the relationship felt like something permanent. Not just romance, but a new beginning. A fresh chapter completely separated from the past. A future built around promises that sounded stronger this time. Their baby was born in November 2025, and for a brief moment the entire story felt peaceful. Fans noticed the difference in Cardi B. She looked calmer than she had in years. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs carried himself like a man embracing fatherhood, appearing present and proud. Supporters began quietly saying the same thing to each other. Maybe this time would be different. Maybe this relationship would finally be the one that lasted. Then came the night that changed everything, the Super Bowl, and suddenly the sense of stability disappeared. The Patriots suffered a devastating loss, and analysts immediately began questioning Stefon Diggs' performance. But the real drama wasn't unfolding under the stadium lights. It was happening quietly in the background, away from the cameras. Social media erupted with speculation almost instantly. Screenshots began circulating across timelines. One of Diggs' other children's mothers reportedly showed up at the game wearing his jersey, posting photos as if she belonged in that moment. Then more rumors started spreading. Another woman was mentioned, someone said to have official team credentials who was reportedly around him throughout the night. The whispers didn't stop there. By the time the game ended, new speculation was everywhere. Some people claimed that after the loss, someone may have been discreetly escorted to Stefon Diggs' hotel room long after the stadium lights went dark. None of it confirmed. No official statements. No direct admissions. But sometimes the timing alone is enough to ignite suspicion. And the optics told their own story: messy, complicated, impossible to ignore. According to reports, Cardi B left the stadium before halftime even finished. The lavish after-party she had reportedly spent more than $1 million organizing suddenly vanished without explanation. By the time the sun came up the next morning, something was clearly different. Both Cardi B and Stefon Diggs had quietly unfollowed each other on social media, a silent move that spoke louder than any press release ever could. No interviews, no dramatic statements, no public arguments, just silence, and a relationship that suddenly looked very different from the one fans thought they were watching. Just silence. A sudden, surgical split that looked effortless from the outside. Clean. Final. Or at least that's what everyone thought. Cardi B threw herself into touring, immersing in work, motion, and distance. Her posts shifted tone: self-love, healing, guarding her peace at all costs. Every word felt deliberate, a quiet closure. To the public, she seemed unshakable, choosing strength over chaos, independence over heartbreak. Calm returned, on the surface. But behind closed doors, the story reportedly grew far messier. The romance was over, but a newborn still tied them together in ways impossible to ignore. And that's when the darkness allegedly crept in. Sources say emotional wounds deepened into something heavier than a breakup. Allegedly, Stefon Diggs' mother began pushing for more access to the baby, not casual visits, but firm, escalating demands. Requests about extended stays and custody reportedly felt like ultimatums. Those close to the situation described the tone as unsettling, heavy, and direct. Words aimed squarely at Cardi B reportedly hit hardest. Imagine that moment. Mother of a 3-month-old, recovering, adjusting, carrying the weight of public humiliation and private betrayal, suddenly confronted with someone implying her child could be shared. Insiders say that's when everything flipped. The emotional heat reportedly spiked in ways impossible to cool. Cardi B reportedly wasn't shocked by co-parenting itself. She understood the reality. What shook her was the entitlement, the pressure, the timing. Allegedly, the push intensified once it was clear reconciliation with Stefon Diggs wasn't happening. What sounded like concern reportedly started to look like strategic positioning in a quiet power struggle. From insiders' perspective, it became less about affection and more about control. And one thing everyone close to her insists, Cardi B was not emotionally ready to be challenged. She stayed silent through the Super Bowl fallout. No public shame, no social media battles, no blocking him from seeing his son. She handled the split with restraint and maturity. But every story has a breaking point. Reports say that point arrived when one word entered the conversation: CPS. Rumors claim Cardi B allegedly warned she might involve Child Protective Services, and the internet erupted. CPS isn't casually mentioned. It isn't a tantrum. It signals the situation has reached its most serious level. Sources clarify, no confirmed complaint was filed. Instead, it was a warning, a boundary sent in crystal clear terms. Allegedly, if demands escalated, she was ready to use every legal avenue to protect her child. Mentioning CPS sends a signal far deeper than step back. It screams preparation, documentation, readiness to escalate private conflict into formal legal action if a child's well-being is at risk. That single warning alone reportedly flipped everything, turning what was once an emotional dispute into legal territory almost overnight. Sources aligned with Cardi B's side claim that something fundamental had already broken. From her perspective, if Stefon Diggs' family witnessed what she allegedly endured during the Super Bowl fallout and remained silent, trusting them around her baby was no longer possible. Loyalty to Stefon Diggs didn't automatically mean protection for her son. Insiders say she wasn't trying to ignite drama or start a war. She was protecting her space as a mother. She needed boundaries that were absolute. And according to accounts, this wasn't a temporary line in the sand. It was a boundary meant to hold, no matter how tense or awkward things got. Then things reportedly spiraled. While Cardi B stayed measured, controlled, unshakable, Stefon Diggs' reaction allegedly went in the opposite direction. Before the CPS warning, sources painted him as reflective, withdrawn, almost weighed down by thought. Rumors suggested he was reconsidering his actions, replaying how everything unraveled publicly, thinking hard about what kind of father he wanted to be. Seeing Cardi B shine on tour, fiercely protecting her peace, reportedly hit him harder than anyone expected. Maybe for the first time, he truly realized what he'd lost. Then came the CPS warning, and everything reportedly flipped overnight. Multiple sources claimed he felt blindsided, frustrated, stunned that the situation had escalated so far. From his perspective, invoking CPS didn't feel like protection. It felt like an attack. With his mother indirectly involved, emotions reportedly intensified even more. What had been quiet reflection allegedly turned explosive. Weeks of calm reportedly vanished in an instant. Suddenly, it wasn't about accountability or growth. It became defense, pride, and protecting family. And that's where it got deeply human and painfully messy. On one side, a mother setting clear boundaries to protect her child. On the other, a son defending his mother from a perceived legal threat. Both sides reportedly felt justified, and when both feel right, conflict escalates fastest. The internet predictably divided. Some praised Cardi B for decisiveness, strength, and protection. Others argued she went too far, too fast. Some said CPS warnings should appear only in extreme scenarios. Others defended a mother's absolute right to guard her child. But beyond hashtags and opinions, there's still a newborn at the center of the storm. That reality transforms this from celebrity drama into a real-life family crisis unfolding before millions. Because once CPS enters the conversation, even as a warning, the dynamics shift. Trust erodes. Conversations stiffen. Lawyers linger in the background. Reconciliation becomes a distant possibility. What makes this story shocking isn't just conflict. It's how fast everything pivoted. Only weeks earlier, it seemed like a respectful separation was possible. Two adults who couldn't make romance work but could still raise their child peacefully. That's usually how it goes, rarely perfect, but manageable. Then family steps in and everything changes. Relatives bring pride, protection, and expectations that amplify tension. Suddenly, it's no longer just about two people seeking balance. It's about influence, legacy, and control. Observers following the story closely say this may mark the real breaking point. Not cheating rumors, not Super Bowl fallout, but the pressure over custody. When a parent's role is challenged, the emotional sting cuts deeper than romantic betrayal ever could. From Cardi B's perspective, sources say she felt cornered, pushed beyond comfort, disrespected in ways she couldn't ignore. Those close to her insist that when she feels trapped, she doesn't move quietly, she acts decisively. From Stefon Diggs' alleged perspective, it may feel blown out of proportion, a private matter suddenly formal and threatening. That emotional gap reportedly grows with each passing moment. What makes it tragic is that, at different times, both reportedly wanted growth and stability. There was a version of this story where Stefon Diggs reflected, maybe offered a public apology, slowly rebuilt trust as co-parents, but anger rewrites endings. Pride tangled with family loyalty, and weeks of progress reportedly vanished in seconds. Now the biggest question hanging over everyone is heavy. Can any of it be reversed? Once CPS enters, even hypothetically, the tone shifts. Conversations turn cold. Legal talk becomes possible. Communication grows structured. Trust becomes fragile. The reflective space Stefon Diggs was reportedly entering may already be slipping away. Meanwhile, Cardi B's stance is crystal clear. She is unwavering when it comes to her son, not negotiating authority, ready to use every system available if pressure continues. Two strong personalities. One newborn, one fractured relationship, an extended family caught in the middle. The most shocking part? How fast everything escalated. From romance and promises in May, to a baby in November, to Super Bowl humiliation in February, to a CPS warning just weeks later, it all unraveled at lightning speed. Maybe the lesson here is universal. Boundaries ignored early don't disappear. They harden. And when they harden enough, pressure bursts. Right now, no one knows what happens next. Will Stefon Diggs cool off and return to reflection? Will both sides step back and find a peaceful path? Or has something already occurred that permanently reshapes their interaction? Social media will move on. Fans will argue. Comment sections will stay loud. But co-parenting doesn't end when headlines fade and decisions made in anger leave permanent marks. That's why this story feels bigger than ordinary drama. It's a turning point, a moment when two people stood at the crossroads of escalation and resolution, and emotion made the call. Now all that remains is to see who chooses calm first. Whoever does may determine whether this becomes a courtroom war or a lesson in how even the fiercest conflicts can still be paused before burning everything.